Yo, what's good, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to another Tyler Perry Sistas review. If this is your first time coming to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning family member, then you know what it is and what it always will be. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell somebody to tell somebody if you choose to, but if not, just sit back, relax while we get into this thing. I'm not going to call it messy because I just wanted this video to have like a different tone. But I truly wanted to discuss what they failed to discuss in last Wednesday's episode regarding Fatima. Now, the episode before, Fatima dropped a huge bomb, a huge revelation onto Danni. Let me just play the clip.
I feel like shit for even thinking this, let alone saying it out loud. Go on. I hate that Karen lost the baby. Danni, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. I wouldn't. But part of me was relieved when there's still more with sex.
Now, when this thing came out, a lot of people, there were so many people that had difference of opinions. Opinions are fine. Everyone can have them. People don't necessarily have to agree with it, but it is what it is. Now, I do want to go on record and say, I've said this before, the last time I touched on this. And of course, we have new people who listen. I am someone in my personal life who believes that everyone has the right to feel how you feel. Your feelings are your feelings. They are authentic and real to you. Keyword you. Okay? They may not be real or authentic to anyone else, but to you, they are. And you have a right to feel that way. Now, when you choose to release those thoughts and or feelings, there are consequences to that. As an audience member, when Fatima said what she said to Danni, there was so many things at play and there were so many things going on in my mind that I could not wait until this episode to see what was going to happen. First things first, I wanted to know Danni's response. I wanted to know how Danni was going to handle being told what she was told. Two, the fact that we know that Zach overheard Fatima, I wanted to know his response. And three, I wanted to know from the horse's mouth the reason that Fatima was relieved. So I'm going to start with the latter, the reason that Fatima was relieved. There were so many people who were assuming or trying to conform what they thought Fatima meant in that moment. Oh, she didn't mean that she's glad the baby is dead. She meant that she's glad she didn't have to deal with Karen. Well, Fatima didn't say that, so I can't agree to that because I don't know, because she never said. Or Fatima stated that she really, she didn't want to deal with this. And I said, well, this is what I believe. And again, that's their opinion. This is mine. Based on what we saw in this last episode, Fatima was happy that that baby didn't make it. Simply because I don't believe Fatima wants any other child to be attached or associated to Zach other than the child that she's carrying. Now, is she wrong for that? I don't believe she's wrong for it, but that ain't something that you got to express, ma'am. All of us as people have had thoughts that we are grateful that no one knows but us. All of us have had probably intentions and feelings that we knew, thank you, God, don't nobody know what I'm thinking in this moment, what I'm feeling in this moment, and what my intent is, my secret intent is in this moment. Because we're all people, we're all flawed, we all have moments. But it's the fact that Fatima chose to express. And not only that, it's who she chose to express this to. Who did she choose to express it to? Danni. Daniela King, of all people. Now, there are character traits I do not like about all of the characters. Every last character on this show. Because I'm talking about Fatima in this moment, one of the character flaws that I do not like about Fatima is because she reminds me of someone who I was once close to. Nice, look a little innocent, and she would do some foul and people just had a hard time like, well, do you think that's what she really meant by that? I said yes. That heifer meant that. I know this hoe. Yes, she meant that. Don't try to gaslight me. Don't try to make me think anything different. Yes, I know that's what my friend at the time, that's what she meant by that. And I have seen Fatima do this a lot with Andy. So I know it's in her nature. It's in her character makeup. When Andy was trying to put up this barrier with Fatima and herself when it came to Karen and Zach and what she wasn't going to talk about, information that she wasn't going to reveal, Andy did a poor job. Just straight up, Andy did a piss poor job. Fatima would start a lot of their conversations with, I know you're friends with both of us, but I know you said that you weren't going to do this, but I know that I probably shouldn't tell you, but, and then she would say whatever the hell she needed or wanted to say. Okay, cool. She did the same thing with Danny. I know I probably shouldn't say this, but when Fatima said that, I said, oh, hell no. She about to say something that's about to piss me off. Because anytime you have to preface something with, I probably shouldn't say this, or I shouldn't say it, then heifer don't say it. How easy was that? There have been plenty of times I've been talking to my friends and a horrible thought comes to my mind and I'm like, you know what? Nope. And they'll be like, Alicia said, nope, I ain't even gonna think. I ain't even gonna say it. And then, you could be a Bible scholar and say, well, so as a man thinketh, so is he. You think it, you might as well say it because it's already, no. I thought it, and God, I need that thought to be cast out of my imagination. I don't want that thought to fester. I bind it right now. Whatever you do to get rid of those, negative thoughts. But the fact that Fatima said it, and you said it to someone who considers herself Karen's sister, who consider herself one of Karen's best friends, that's who you decided to share that heavy negative thought or feeling to. Danny is someone, her and Karen have they have a very peculiar relationship. When Karen was going through her most difficult trial thus far in life, Danny made it a point to say, I am not leaving her in this room by herself. I'm not going anywhere. Karen said, can my sister stay? Address Danny as her sister. Danny stayed. Hey, you can hold my hand, squeeze it as tight as you need. I ain't going nowhere. Danny was the same woman who went to Karen's house, bought her favorite food, made sure that she, cleaned herself, whatever. Spoke life, encouraged everything. Danny saw a lot in that hospital. And this is the person who you chose to say that to. Not only did Karen lose her baby, Danny lost her goddaughter. We really haven't seen how Danny is emotionally processing all of this loss and the trauma that actually happened, but that's who Fatima decided to share that with. For the life of me, even if there was a space created where Fatima thought her and Danny was cool, because maybe she has expressed some things to Danny before and Danny has not said anything. What Fatima stated was so jarring. And I know, you got people who, well, it wasn't that bad and she has a right. I get all of that. But what Fatima said was so jarring. When you take out the fact that she's your favorite character, or you take out the fact that that's who you rocking with, and you just look at it for face value, that was an alarming feeling to express to someone. I can't even imagine, even if someone I'm cool with telling me that they are relieved that my sister's babies didn't make it or my best friend's baby didn't make it. How the hell do you even formulate that to come out of your mouth to me, of all people? And we did not get an opportunity to see what was Danny's response to that. In addition to that, Zach overheard Fatima. I can't even imagine what Zach is feeling to process that, because the woman who you want to spend the rest of your life with, the woman who you are engaged to, the woman who is carrying your child, made that statement about your child that didn't make it, that she's relieved. The same loss that is causing you pain, trauma, hurt like never before, all the feelings that Zach is feeling, that experience that is causing you this has caused relief to the woman who you lay with every night. That is a mind elf if I've ever seen one. And the fact that I'm going to give Maggie her props, because Maggie is the one who wrote the episode where Fatima, said what she said. Maggie gave the writers a wonderful alley-oop. Then we get this next episode and they don't even touch it. They don't even talk about it. It is as if it was never said. The reason why I believe Fatima is really happy, did we not see how this woman was acting on this episode? Fatima got up. Fatima made breakfast. It was as if we was watching a whole nother person. Again, the very experience that's causing so much hurt to your man is causing you joy. Baby, you waking up, you snapping your fingers, doing your step. You could do it all by yourself. I mean, she getting it. Humming the tune, everything. I mean, a complete change. Dealing with human behavior and watching the behavior of this woman. You watched her from the previous episode. She had an argument with Zach about the midwife situation. She wanted to know what was going on with Zach with Danny when it came to how was he acting when you were with him. All of these things. So now she's just bubbly. She's just chippery. Even though Zach knows what she said and how she really feels. I don't appreciate the fact that we never touched back on that. Sistas has been on for almost 6 years. I do not vividly remember any time where the next episode did not pick up where the previous one left off. Even when we go to a new season, unless they're doing like this crazy time jump, when we end season 2, season 3 picks up exactly where season 2 ended. It's always been like that. But when Fatima releases this hard revelation, we don't talk about it. We don't discuss it. So when I bring up favoritism and when I bring up the biases that happens on this show, and you still have people who just choose to be intentionally obtuse and that like they don't see it, hey, evidence right here. Because if any other person said something like that, it would have been addressed. If the shoe was on the other foot, if Fatima lost her baby and both of Karen's babies lived, and she says, hey, she tells Danny, you know what, I probably shouldn't say this, but I am so relieved that Fatima baby didn't make it because I want to be the only woman that's bringing forth life with Zach. Yeah, he has Michael. There's nothing we could do about that, but I want to be the only one. People would have crucified Karen to the cross, and y'all know I ain't lying, would have crucified her to the cross if she would have allowed something like that to flow from her mouth. But Fatima says it. And not that a lot of people were giving her passes. Some people were. And there are some people who ride with Fatima who actually have a huge problem with what she said. And my thing is, that's good. I thought that it would have been, I can't remember your name, sis, but you know who you are. Because you just commented under my video about, you were looking forward to them, showing Fatima in this dark place or releasing this dark thought. And I'm like, I agree with you. I was looking forward to that. But then they cheat us out of that moment. And I'm someone who has always said, how does Fatima feel about stuff? We never know how she feels. Then when she releases something like that, they don't even give it to us. What is the journey of a woman who's marrying a man who is relieved his child died? What is that journey? What is she relieved about? I think it was such a disservice to the character of Fatima. I think it was such a disservice to the audience members, for those of us who actually care about story and not just, who our favorite characters are. I just think it was an injustice. It was an injustice to Zach because that is something that he is traumatized about. And he heard the woman that he's going to marry say this, and he doesn't get a chance to confront her with this information. So it's just an interesting thing to watch, an interesting thing to see how Fatima has released this, but she wants him to act normal. And then this is my thing too, this revelation here. Fatima released something like that, but you haven't told Zach how you felt. You won't tell Zach how you feel. There's a reason why. Anytime that we hide things, anytime that we choose to keep things secretive, is because we know innately we are wrong and we don't want to be exposed. Because if Fatima felt that way, she should be able to stand on it. So I can't be told that, yeah, she wants Zach to function. She wants Zach to be normal, or why Zach acting this way. You know why he acting that way. And if you don't believe that he is going through so much pain and trauma from the loss of his child, why didn't you reveal what you revealed to Danny to him? Because it ain't just Zach is acting odd. He's not acting like himself. He lost his baby. And the reason why Fatima won't reveal it to him is because you're happy that he lost his child. I don't care what nobody say. Them my thoughts. You can respectfully disagree. I feel you. It's okay. Just be cool in the comments. If you want to, disagree, you could do that, and we can have a civilized debate. We can have a civilized disagreement. That's all I'm saying. But I just had to get that out. And I'll probably come back to this. I don't know if all my thoughts came out in this video, but currently, this is how I feel. But I want to thank you guys for listening. Until next time, I will holler at y'all later, and y'all be safe out there. One.